Alright everyone, hello, greetings and welcome. I'm in all of the wrong places. All of the wrong places. Hello. Hi, I'm really close right now. Hi. Okay, that's a little bit more sane. Hello everyone. Hello. My name is Harrier Citadel, avian alien sentinel of Fort Misthaven, perpetrator of creative chaos and general maker of themes. Welcome. Hello. I really hope everything is working. I hope that stream is working. I have no idea. Internet might be buggy. If so, I apologize. But we are hopefully gonna be okay. Hopefully. And hopefully everything is actually going to work. I hope. Okay. I think I may have neglected something. Let me just check over here swiftly to make certain that I'm not being an absolute dunce on every level possible. Is this in fact selected the right stream? Yes, it has. Okay, that's good. It is in fact on the correct stream. Then what I want to do is I want to grab this, and I'm going to be a little bit weird today. I'm actually going to post the link on Blue Sky. Gasp. I know I stopped making go live posts in places, but I think and post. I usually don't do that anymore, but I feel like it is a good idea this day. We'll see if it actually sends. Will it send? Who knows? But yes, hello everyone. Today we are going to be playing a little bit of Final Fantasy XIV. We're doing a completionist run in Realm Reborn. Still working on that. Last time we went up against Garuda. We beat the Angry Bird Lady, and that ended with an interruption by some big spanner in the Galean Empire, who through sheer force of apparently making Angry Bird Lady panic, ended up getting a whole bunch of primals that we'd already beaten summoned to the area, which subsequently got devoured entirely by new Imperial mega weapon. So that is what happened last time. And we have subsequently retreated back to Uldar, and that is where we find ourselves, where we begin today in stream. So I'm still just quickly getting logged in, and the post is still busy posting, so I have no idea if the internet is actually going to be stable enough for this today. I hope it will be. We shall see. Now, I get the distinct feeling that there was an update somewhere that I missed the information about, because there was in fact an update on my machine when I came back to this thing. And also I apparently entirely missed the Hatching Tide event, so whoopsie. Not that it really matters much for a free-to-play account on the free trial. So, One day I shall revive my Steam account, maybe. Revive it, rename it, all that madness. And return to My original characters, wow. I don't know how many of them there are. I recall one of them. I recall one of my original characters. I think he was an Elysian Dragoon, and I don't think I got past level 40 with him. Sad. But anyway, alright, let us head right over to where we need to be. Okay, and now first thing I need to do, switch that on. So, now you should be able to hear the game. Let me just see if I adjust volume here. It should be not too loud, I hope. I hope it's not too loud. Please let me know if it's too loud. Yeah. I'm gonna dial it down just a smidge, just for safety. Because I do know that I speak quietly. And the background music here can be a little bit much. That should be okay. Alright, so we're just gonna dive straight into story because I've literally got no other quests open. I've literally got no quests open. Brad, hello, hello, welcome in, welcome in. Game sounds okay, but yeah, pretty close to your voice. Okay. So I'm gonna just drop that just a itty bit more. Because otherwise, as soon as we get to a combat scenario, that's gonna be insane. How is that in comparison? Like, I know it's mostly background music, but I just want to be sure. Seems alright? Alright. Awesome, awesome, awesome. We'll see when we hit the first combat scenario if it's still too loud. How are you doing, Brad? Hope you had a good weekend. Weekend could have been better, ended up being sick all through it. Oh no. Oh shame, man. That sucks. I hope you feel better soon. That sucks. Like, legitimately. Shame. Oh. Well, let us hope that a little light entertainment of voice madness can assist in at least making you feel a little bit cheered up, right? Oh yes, now comes the great challenge of remembering what everyone's voices sounds like. Joy. But first, we gotta set up our hydrates. I think I'm gonna start with one, just for safety. Should be. I think I'm at the end of it. I think I got hit with was passively thinking about taking time off, so I got sick curse again. Yeah. That immune crash that happens when one takes the foot off the gas. It's a thing. It's something that reminds you that one shouldn't actually take the foot off the gas more frequently, so that the body realizes that no, it's not because you're not taking your foot off the gas because you are suffering an illness. You're taking the foot off the gas, and it's a completely normal thing to do. So don't crash. So yeah, we all need to get better at that kind of self-preservation, I suppose. I know I do. I was supposed to take today off in some way, shape, or form, and I ended up pretty much having a normal Monday, even though it was supposed to be it was supposed to be a public holiday. And then I ended up doing more work. Or never take the foot off the gas so the body never crashes. I like this plan. Oh, bread, of course. You do you. I take no responsibility for any crashes that may result from overdoing it. Bodies disintegrating at the speed of light is not part of my recommended daily activity. Always how it goes. Oh no. Anyway, I hope you improve, and that your immune system recovers swiftly. But let us set our first hydrate timer. There we go. But I think, yeah, I'm gonna set this to every 15 minutes, not every 30. Simply for my own sake, because it's going to be a lot of talking tonight, probably. So yeah. I've also got another funny story about hydrates, which I will probably share a little bit later in the stream. So, yeah. Alright, we have dallied enough. Let us see what Elfina has to say. It is past time that we return to the Waking Sands. To leave our headquarters in disrepair any longer would be dishonor to the memory of those who all that fell there. We have been brought to our knees, but we will rest, rebuild, and rise once more. Why does it sound like he was listening to our conversation? Why does it sound like he was listening to our conversation? Huh? Yeah? Alright, health node. Okay. Just slightly concerning. Okay. So that's probably return to the Waking Sands. There we go. Use the ticket. Goodbye. See you on the other side. I definitely got his voice wrong again. It's fine. I'll get there eventually. Let me just bring my microphone closer. Why? Because I'm not drawing. There's not as much likelihood of accidentally headbutting it. Alright. Hey, green cat boy. Nice. I totally got distracted by the player. I'm sorry. Oh, didn't linger to look, but nodded. Okay, let's see. Tell me, Raptor, does aught here strike you as odd? I see signs of recent habitation. Could it be that we have trespassers? Mayhap it is just my imagination. Come, let us proceed into the solar. Okay. Ding dong, taking you. Good armor. I didn't notice these cursor trails before. Hello. Wait! Slow down. Who goes there? Now, Ida. Is that any way to greet a friend?
Alphino! Raptor! Sid? Wait, is this a dream?
Not that I'm aware of. It's been a while, Ida. Your Discord pings are audible on Steam. They shouldn't be. They shouldn't be. 1 second. Let me just make sure that this is a thing. Oh, you know why? It's because of two things. One, here. Firstly, this is inactive. And secondly, I need to come over here. And dip that. There we go. So that should hopefully help. There we go. That would do it. Yeah, if nothing else. Alright. We continue. Actually, I just want to see. I'm just gonna window this again. Like such. And just get this here so that you guys can still see dialog box. There we go. Alright. There was a conversation busy happening. Hello.
Oh. I don't believe it. I was sure you'd been...
This place has seen better days.
You know, I wasn't actually here when I was still in talks at the Adder's Nest. First I knew about it was when I came back and I saw...
Oh, Ida.
The church had taken care of the bodies, but I'd still left the stains. It was hard to know where to start. If Y'shtola hadn't been here to help me...
Y'shtola is here too?
Yes, but she's not here right now. She's gone to Uldar to meet a man who might know what happened to the others. Papolino and Minfilia weren't among the dead, according to the church. Y'shtola thinks they were taken somewhere.
Upon the orders of the Black Wolf, no doubt. Why would he want them? Because they possess something he desires. Knowledge of another power that can be brought to bear against the primals. One that Gaius has yet to harness. The Echo. Gaius will be aware of its existence as well as the immunity it grants to the gifted. Grants those gifted to the primal's influence. Powerful though his elegant weapons may be, he would doubtless desire such protection. He means to use Minfilia to gain an understanding of the Echo. None of which explains how the Empire came to know the location of the Waking Sands in the first place. No matter. The Empire has shown its hand, and now we must act. It is up to us to rebuild the Scions and save Eorzea. Can I count on you, Ida?
What? Oh, yes! Yes, of course. Whatever you need.
We can discuss our next move upon Y'shtola's return. For now, I say we rest. Doze.
Hear, feel, think.
Okay. Oh. Oh, that's menacing. That is menacing. It's Meteor all over again.
Bringer of light. Brave gatherer of the crystals, thy soul burneth bright. I am Hydaelyn, all made one. Hearken unto me now, for the darkness doth begin to spread. Wear thee the bearer of the crimson brand, for he is the avatar of shadow, whom death attendeth always. The crystals shall be thy salvation, thy blade and shield both. Steel thyself, for at the appointed hour thou shalt stare into the heart of darkness. Go with caution, my child, but fear not, for I am ever with thee.
Crazy dream to wake up to. Welcome back.
Yashtala! Ha! Raptor, I see you and Alphino are safe. And Sid? That we five should meet each other thus defies simple explanation. It is as if the benevolent hand of Master Louis Soir guides us still. He would not see us undone so easily. Not now, when the need is so great. I know where Minfilia and the others are being held. Where? An Imperial stronghold in the heart of Mordona. Castrum Sentry.
Well, that's just an Imperial fortress. That's casual. Okay, just an Imperial fortress. Just an Imperial fortress. The rescue of our allies will be no small undertaking, Raptor. Even under normal circumstances, breaching the defenses of an Imperial castrum would be a highly dangerous proposition. But now that Castrum Sentry holds prisoners whom the Garleans deem valuable, we may be confident that they have taken additional measures to ensure the stronghold's security. If we are to free our friends, we will require an effective strategy, and if we are to formulate an effective strategy, we will require intelligence. I believe I know a man who may be able to assist us. Lord Portelaine of House Durandare. He is stationed at the Observatorium in Curthus. Let us go to him and beseech his aid. Back to Curthus, okay. To the cold we go. That's a perfect place to send a lizard. To the cold. Great. Great. How much is the cost to Curthus? Okay, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna go for it. Why? Because I'm not trying to save up for a house here. Moving around will be so much cheaper once I can fly. After a realm reborn, it'll be cheaper to move around.
Look at all of these quests. Just look at them.
Waiting. And that is a hydrate, everyone. Acquire your nearest safe consumption beverages. And let's take a sip. We are doing our hydrates on a 15-minute rotation now instead of a 30-minute. For my own sake. More sips. Smaller sips more regularly. How are we all holding up? I definitely think I've forgotten Yashtala's voice. I feel bad about that. General, that way direction, okay. You directly south. Okay. The crocs out here are at least covered in fur, so I don't feel quite so bad for these reptiles, but ish.
My poor scales are not designed for curseless weather.
Come on. Up. There we go. Why do I get the feeling I'm in the wrong place? Yes, I'm in the wrong place. Why? Because I didn't read my map. At the observatorium does not necessarily mean inside of it. It meant there. Dismount so that I can see. Okay. Eek. There we go, portal lane. Ah, Raptor. The man who unmasked the heretic in our own midst. To what do I owe the pleasure of your company? You are an associate of Yashtala? But of course. Lord Drillamont confided to me that you were a scion of the Seventh Dawn. Okay. Nice. That's helpful that you finally believe what I say. Hooray. Castrum Sentry. What interest have you all in the Imperials? They hold several of our number, whom we intend to free. Any information you can provide would be greatly appreciated. I see. That might explain our scouts' reports. They observed 4 prisoners being led into the castrum. A Huron woman, an Elysian man, and 2 Lullafels. 1 male, 1 female.
It's them! It has to be! Minfilia, Urianger, Papalimo and Tataru.
If that scant morsel is of use to you, you may also be interested to hear about a more recent incident. Incident? An Imperial airship made an emergency landing here in Kurthus not long ago. 2 men believed to be prisoners, Arogadin and Lalafell, were seen fleeing the craft. What did you say? Arogadin and Lalafell, Master Garland. Neither wore Imperial dress, and both seemed disinclined to wait for rescue. Hence our assumption that they were prisoners. Ha! Well, I'll be damned. It's Biggs and Wedge. Trust those 2 rascals to escape. We must find them, Raptor, and soon. The Imperials will not rest until they are captured or killed, and if Biggs were given the choice, I fear he'd take the latter. Freeing those held in Castrum's Sentry will require substantial planning and preparation. As such, it is an endeavor that will admit some slight delay. The matter of the escapees, by contrast, will not. Shortly after the prisoners vacated the airship, our scouts observed Imperial troops setting off in pursuit. It is likely only a matter of time before they catch them. Toaster, hello, welcome in. I don't know a lot, but I am aware of one thing. Smoking ribs are tasty. Oh yes, absolutely. That is good knowledge to have absolutely every day. Ooh, food talk is dangerous. Hope you're doing well, Toaster. And Portalane says, if you wish to see your comrades again, you had best act now. I'm doing great, it's been a nice day. I'm glad, Toaster. Yay, that's always good news. And now we're rounding it off with voice acting practice and hopefully some margin of entertainment along the way. Hello. Good to see you. Welcome. Now, I still can't remember what Y'shtola sounds like. Ah! Okay.
If, as has been suggested, the Garleans took our fellow Scions prisoner in hopes of understanding the echo, it seems reasonable to assume that they will not be executed until such time as the study is complete. But Biggs and Wedge are not Scions, nor do they know aught of the echo. As Lord Portalane said, this may prove our only chance to rescue them. I say we seize it.
Thank you, everyone. You won't regret this. I hope your day is good and your coffee isn't cold. My coffee is gone. The coffee is gone, sadly. Tragedy of the highest order. The coffee is gone. It was gone before stream started. Big sad. Big sad. Oh, hey, no. More cutscene. That's worse than cold, I agree. It is worse than cold. 100% worse than cold. There's the Garleans and their weapon. Ooh, scary now that it's evolved after consuming 3 primals. Final preparations are almost complete, my lord. There stands the culmination of 5 long years of painstaking work. But all our efforts will be vindicated when the Emperor's vision becomes reality. At last, we have the power to purge this land of its false gods. We shall give the ignorant children of Eorzea the security and stability they so desperately crave, and which their spineless leaders have so palpably failed to provide. As you say, my lord, rest assured, our engineers will not rest until the weapon is fully armed and operational. Righterton, you depart for Castrum Occidens at midnight. You will command the Western Front in Vilbrand. The Eorzeans will attempt to interfere with our plans. You will see that they do not. My lord, if this be your will, I shall carry it out to the best of my ability. I live only to serve the Empire. Yet, forgive my impudence, but is it proper to give command of half our forces to a... I have given you nothing, Prefectus. You have earned it. That will be all. Dismissed. Yes, my lord. My quarters, 1 hour. Okay, that says tons. Okay, that says tons. Okay. Huey. Well, okay. Sure. Let's see. We're definitely in a very story-heavy part of the game right now, because we're getting pretty close to the culmination of this arc, if I can phrase it that way. One can sort of sense it. This is the build towards final battles of the arc. It's yeah. Everything is intensifying. But now we need to find Biggs and Wedge. My purpose here is to reconnoiter Galilean activity along Abelathia's spine. Owing to this, I have the honor of being acquainted with Y'shtola. Now, the report of the Imperial airship's emergency landing came to us by way of Zemail Darkhold, situated to the west. Our man stationed at the entrance, a knight named Briselt, may be able to tell you more. So as to expedite your mission, I shall furnish you with a letter of introduction. I pray that you will soon be reunited with your comrades. May the Fury grant you strength. Okay. So, we are headed... Eek. That way. And zoom up so that we can see the trouble coming. Wider field of view. There's Briselt. What has he got to say? You stand before Zemail Darkhold, the subterranean fortress excavated by the great Ishgardian house of the same name. None but authorized personnel may enter. Here is my letter of authorization, I'm afraid. A letter from Lord Portelaine. So you have come about the Imperial airship. According to our scouts, the vessel had scarce touched the ground when a pair of men, captives by all accounts, burst forth and bolted. Imperial soldiers have since been sighted in the area, seeking to recapture them. What? The captains are like to be your friends, you say? Then let us pray that they are yet a step ahead of their pursuers. The emergency landing reportedly took place near the Aurum Vale, situated south and west of here. I suggest you take your search there. Seek out a knight named Pyramon. He should be able to assist you. Okay. I have a biting itch on the underside of my foot and it's driving me insane. Yeah! Is that the knight I've got to speak with? Yes. Ah! Okay. And that is another hydrate. So everyone, acquire your nearest safe for consumption beverages, and let's take a sip. Bitch is still there, God! That's frustrating. But alright, let us set our next timer. We're on 15-minute rounds once again, for hydration's sake, to keep the voice in good nick for the duration of the stream. Alright, let's see, what does our man Pierre have to say? The Imperial airship. I saw it approach and land with mine own two eyes. I hastened to the landing site, arriving just in time to see the vessel take to the skies again, but not before it had deployed a detachment of troops. Gruff orders were being barked, and there was an air of consternation about them. Okay. There were prisoners aboard the airship, it seems, and they seized the opportunity to flee when the vessel was forced to land. The Garleans were deployed, formed search parties, and proceeded to scour the wilderness. In order to alert our forces, I returned to our post to find evidence that someone had been here in my absence. Whoever they were, they tried the door to no avail and decided to go elsewhere. In all, I marked 2 sets of footprints, one large and one small. If you search the area, mayhap you'll be able to follow the prints to their owners. Alright, here we go. That looks like Lalafell-sized footprints. And there's the next batch. And now I'm going to just summon Harrier, because I'm pretty sure that there's going to be a fight soon, usually on the 3rd one. And of course there's the dog needs dealing with. Okay. And now we can pay attention to the footprints. Unless it's not a 3-set chain. It's not a 3-set chain. Almost there. Surely they can't make us trek too far. Surely not. I see a quest claim sticking out under that bridge. And there's Wedge. Now, I'm too tall to fit in that way, so I've got to go the long way around.
So cold. I want to go home.
Well, hello there.
Please don't eat me. I'm not nearly as succulent as I look. It's all skin and bones underneath, I swear. Raptor! It's you! Oh, thank goodness you're here. It's been awful. The Garleans were snapping at our heels like a 100 pack of wolves. I was so hell's-bent on evading them, I almost ran headlong into a monster's gaping maw. Thrice! And when I finally find cover, it hit me how cold and hungry I was. Biggs, he isn't here. He went off in a different direction to lure our pursuers away.
It's me, Sid. Have you had any success? I tracked down Wedge. That's wonderful news. Now, what of Biggs? No joy yet. I see. Well, it hardly surprises me that the big fella went off as he did. For all the tongue lashings he gives Wedge, he's always taking care of him. I've scoured the area surrounding the Darkhold, but I have nothing to show for it. At any rate, we know for a fact that Biggs headed west. With both Ida and Yashtolis helping out, I'm sure he'll turn up soon. Now then, I'll make my way over to your position while keeping an eye out for Biggs. If memory serves, there should be an Ishgardian fortification not far to your west. Monument Tower, I believe it's called. Let us meet there.
Dare I hope? Was that Master Garland you spoke with? After 5 long years. Thank goodness he's alive. I'm feeling better now, Raptor. Let's go to Monument Tower and wait for the chief to arrive.
Aww. Aww. Emotional little Wedge. Alright. Now, it ought to be this way, roughly. Let's see, do I need to cross the Mud Puppy River? Yes, I do. And whoop. Nope. Up, up, up. Come on. There we go, there we go, there we go. Nice. And there's our fortification. Then... Adelie? What have you to say? Well met and welcome, adventurer. What brings you to this frozen corner of the realm? Oh, it would seem your companion has caught a chill. Come and warm yourself by the fire. I'll bring you a hot broth. Oh. Wedge catching a break. How are we feeling now, then? Stay here as long as you need. The same goes for you, friend. 'Tis plain you've a hard journey ahead of you. You must find rest while you can.
But Biggs is still out there. We can't just leave Biggs out there. No, that won't do. That simply won't do. Yeah, and Wedge agrees. I'm fine now, thanks to you, but I can't bear to think that Biggs is still alone in the cold, with Gauleans hot in his heels. He lured the enemy away for my sake, and now he's suffering for it. I hate to have to rely on you again, Raptor, but do you think you could search for Biggs? I haven't the slightest notion where he might be at the moment, but maybe, just maybe, the people here have seen something.
If we're lucky. Okay.
A Rogadan gentleman dressed in the same manner as your companion? I'm sorry, but he did not come by here. Let me think for a moment. I would not raise your hopes unduly, but there is a cave situated a short distance to the south. We call it the Fury's Gaze, and it may be worth your while to investigate. I make this suggestion only because your friend seems like a selfless sort. Rather than drawing the enemy to this tower, mayhap he elected to pass us by.
That is entirely possible. Let's check out the cave then. It is that way. That's a very icy cave. That is a very, very icy cave. Okay. And I can't see what I'm doing, but it's fine. Probably. We are really trying to get into the tub of ice cream to the back of freeze. Oh, joy, that sounds relatable. Okay, now, it would help if I was actually close enough to actually do anything to these people. Let me just use my aging skill on this thing as well. This Revenant. Come on. Okay, now I need to actually start dodging. This should be the last one before this encounter comes to an end, please. As long as I don't take that last plasmoid that's right next to us by accident. Okay. Well, that was a bust. There is no Rogadan here. Biggs, where are you? No.
Were you able to learn anything? Not in this area. Well, that stands to reason, I suppose, seeing as he was trying to lure the Garleans away from me. But where within this vast sea of snow and ice could he be?
Oh dear.
Oh dear. We can't give up, Raptor. We must find Biggs before he succumbs to the cold or is recaptured. There must be someone in this tower who can help us, even if it's only to tell us where else to look. Ask them for me. Ask anyone who'll listen. And hurry. Biggs' chances of survival grow slimmer by the moment.
As do my birds, apparently, considering that she keeps wanting to stand in the fire. Honestly, though, I can relate. I would also want to be as close to the fire as possible in this cold. It's more a good thing that one doesn't pick up burning damage from the braziers here, huh? Alright, that was a hydrate, so everyone acquire your nearest safe for consumption beverages, and let's take a sip. Alright. There is a second reason why I am doing the hydrates on a shorter time limit today, so that I can remember to talk a little bit about hydration towards the end of stream. So please remind me to talk to you guys about hydration and water, if I fail to remember, because something interesting has come up on that topic. Interestingly, weirdly, but yes.
Ignace says,
Your friend is lost in the wilderness, you say? If he's not to be found around here or in the vicinity of Darkhold, it's possible he made for Whitebrim. To reach it, one must travel through the Danifin Pass, the southern end of which lies to the north and east of here. While I make no guarantee that your search will bear fruit, it is surely better than worrying in idleness. I wish you luck. Oh, and one more thing. Do tread warily when climbing the stairs here. Not a moon ago, I near broke my neck when I slipped and took a tumble. You know, I can believe that with how many times I've fallen down the stairs in the other towers. I can 100% believe that. Whee! Boink. Because why? No rails! I'd swear some Imperials built these stairs, with how there's no safety railings. Something interesting regarding hydration. I knew it. You're secretly an Atlantean. Wouldn't be the first time that revelation came out of nowhere. Asterisk spoiler alert. What? We'll get back to it. I promise. Hello, Sai. Welcome in. I hope you had a good weekend. And there's our guy. Hello there. It was a great weekend. I'm glad. Our orders are to take you back, dead or alive. Which will it be, engineer? Why don't you come and find out, Tinhead? Raptor, it is well that you are here. The situation is grave.
Biggs is in a bad way. We need to do something right now.
Ida has the right of it. He will perish if we delay.
With me,
How you doing? The stream going well? Why is the pale dude hitting a jig? It's the standard pugilist idol form. Everybody dances the same in this game. Ah, indeed. All of our fist fighters do the same little tippy-toe back and to and fro. Tippy-toe to and fro. Ready to go. Ready to go! It's melody time, boys! Let's go. Okay. Oh boy. And of course now there's extras. Come on. You come here. You come here. You come here. Everybody look at me. That's what I'm tanking for. Oh, it's very effective, isn't it? Okay, now grab everyone's attention over there. There's another one. Doing, doing, doing. Wait, you over here. Everyone look this way. Everyone look this way. Please and thank you. I need you and I need you. There we go. Come on. Okay, you need to not be facing these guys. Come on. You come this way. Come this way. Thank you. So that everyone else can be behind you. So they can do damage. My thanks. Another moment, and I would. He has been too long in the cold. We must find shelter for him. Lucky there's a tower right over there. Monument Tower, you say? Very well. Eden, I shall bear him there with all haste. Sid will be so happy to see Biggs and Wedge again. Oh, I love reunions. Alright, now we head back as well. Alright, there's the tower. There we go. Actually, I think I'm gonna tell the hydration story now before we tie up this conversation with Biggs and Wedge. So, weird story, but about 2 hours ago, I had my last meal. And by last meal, I mean last meal, not just most recent meal. For a while. It is going to be my last meal for a while. No, it's not because I'm too broke to eat. But I'm actually going on a 3-day water fast. So a 3-day span where the only thing that crosses my lips is water, occasionally slightly seasoned with a little bit of salt for electrolytes. And my entire family is doing it. We are doing it as a general reset. Could not be me. It's actually a really, really healthy thing to do every now and again because it kind of acts as a factory reset for the entire metabolism. Like, the 3-day version is the lightweight version. There's also a 20-day version, which I have not got the excess fat for. But I can do the 3-day one. I don't know what it's supposed to do, but stay safe and healthy, please. Yes, so basically what it does is it causes the body to go into ketosis. So every time that... So it's basically going to be like a weight loss thing, a little bit. But it also acts as an immune reset and just a general metabolism reset as well. So realigns hormones and all of those things. It kind of just forces everything to go into a calibration that is more streamlined and efficient and not overwhelmed by all of the artificial foodstuffs that people generally consume. And all of the sugar from Easter. All of the sugar. So, yes, it is safe. It is 100% safe. Like I said, there is a 20-day version as well, which people survive quite regularly, honestly, and thrive after. So, tomorrow is going to be a bit interesting. But Wednesday and Thursday I should actually be pretty chill. So yes, it's going to be literally just water for the next 3 days. If one is feeling extravagant, I may have black rooibos tea, which doesn't contain caffeine, which is another thing that the entire fasting thing is supposed to help for, is for resetting after severely overloading your system with caffeine. And just unblocks everything, basically. It's a healthy thing to do on a periodic basis. Under ideal circumstances, I'd like to do one of these at the beginning of every month, but not entirely sure about that. What I would like to do is do our next walking Zatsu after the fast is broken. So, sometime after Thursday. I will see if I will have the opportunity to do so on possibly Saturday during the morning hours in my time zone. We might do another walking Zatsu, but we shall see what happens. It all depends on how other movements in my dwelling pan out. But yes. Yeah. It's kind of crazy. We had to get rid of all of the perishables in my fridge before we got going on this. So, wild. Have you guys ever done anything like this before? Or is this kind of a new sounding thing? I'm just not carrying enough fat reserves to be able to do the month-long one. But 3 days for my BMI is completely survivable. And thrivable. I'm mostly doing it for the immune reasons, not for weight loss. I've heard of the keto diet, but that's just that isn't just not eating foods. They eat only one, I think, meats and cheeses to cut out sugar and do something with ketosis. Yeah, that's the carnivore diet, basically, in a nutshell. I'm not a dieter, I just eat. Yeah, it's the carnivore diet is something that is actually observed to be really, really good. It's just really, really expensive. And one can also do it wrong as well, especially if you eat meats that are smothered in barbecue sauce, which are largely sugar as well. Doesn't really help. But it is similarly aligned. Very, very similarly aligned. But yeah, the water fasts are a little bit more extreme, but at the same time, if you're hydrating and getting your electrolytes in, it's just a known way for your body to equalize. We're human beings. We can and will find infinite number of ways to do things wrong. That, you know what? Fair. Fair. Yeah. Anyway, so that is why today was a little bit weirder than usual in my front, is because we ate all of the leftovers in my house today, so that nothing would go off in the fridge. And that is another hydrate, which we spent the entire duration between leaving the last encounter and here, in that little hydration span. There is another player nearby who keeps clipping in and out of this wall. It's very distracting. Okay, everyone, acquire your nearest safe for consumption beverages, and let's take a sip. And reset the timer. And then let's speak to Wedge. We ready? Well, ready or not, here we go. Okay.
I cannot thank you enough, Raptor. And the same goes for the rest of you. Thank you all so much. Oh, don't mention it.
We are family, are we not?
Well, yes, it's just... I just didn't think... I didn't think I'd ever see him again.
I owe the lot of you my life. And you saved Wedges too, Raptor. I'm losing count of how many I owe you.
Biggs! Wedge! Oh, it's good to see the two of you again. Chief! It's you! It's really you! In our hearts we knew you were still alive, but to finally see you in the flesh...
When Alphino told me of the raid on the Waking Sands, I feared the worst. What happened? The enemy struck with nary a warning. We didn't stand a chance. Wedge and I were in the workshop when they came. Before we knew what was happening, the Imperials had us at gunpoint.
It must have been awful. There's one thing I don't understand, though. How did the Garleans get there so fast? I mean, the immortal flames should have seen them coming, right?
I myself have asked the same question. That day, when I returned to the carnage at the Waking Sands, I noted naught amiss in horizon. Nothing at all to suggest that the pass of an Imperial force.
From this, I conclude that the Garlands came neither by land nor by air. Nay, they were born there by potent teleportation magics. Magics of the kind used by the Ascians. Carry on. We were bound and blindfolded and bundled into the cargo bay of a waiting airship. I can't rightly say how long we were aboard, but when the time came for us to disembark, we found ourselves in the midst of an Imperial stronghold, Castrum Sentry. Upon arrival, we were marched off to the main complex. Biggs and I were thrown into a detainment cell together, while Minfilia and the others were taken elsewhere. And that was the last we heard of them. Castrum Sentry. What happened next? Well, we were held in isolation for what felt like years, but it was probably only moons, or maybe only weeks. And then, without warning, the Imperials collected a pair of us and put us on another vessel, which we found out was bound for Garlemald, much to our dread. We knew that if we were taken back there, we weren't like to leave again. So, risky though it was, we sabotaged the ship's altitude control and thereby forced an emergency landing. And in the midst of the ensuing chaos, we managed to slip our captors. The rest, as they say, is history. If I didn't know better, I'd call that a likely story. Sabotaging the altitude controls of the airborne vessel? That will have been Big's handiwork, like as not. You were always resourceful in a tight spot, my friend. Yeah, shame. Raptor, thank you for returning my dear assistance to me. It would seem I owe you yet another debt of gratitude. There are still many questions in my mind, but the answers can wait. Minfilia and the others still went for rescue. All right, you lot. Garland Ironworks is back in business. Let's go and give the Imperials what for. That sounds like a plan. Meanwhile, let's see what Sai has said. Alright. Speaking of the hydration random trivia, my joke earlier was partly a reference to convoluted parts of DC superhero comics. I figured as much. Character named Power Girl is a multiverse counterpart of Supergirl, but they got rid of the multiverse, so she got retconned from being Kryptonian to being Atlantean for a while, because Superman and Supergirl need to be the only Kryptonians. It was kind of a nonsensical and then eventually got undone. Comics are weird. Comics are weird, especially when they have an overarching IP holder, but the writers change every 2 to 3 years with the same characters. And then whatever happens to be the current writer's headcanon ends up being canon for a while. It's messy. It's really, really messy. I think that's why IPs that may be long-lived, but only so long as the actual author is in the driver's seat, generally feel a lot more consistent. When an IP keeps changing hands, it feels really, really messy. There's a good and bad of that. Sometimes it can make for great new spins. Other times it's like the writers are just fighting with each other. Yeah. Yeah. Like, some spins are best saved for the fan fictions, in my opinion. But do not, in fact, work for long-term serializations. But yeah. Such is how it goes. Let's see. What does Sid have to say? We really are doing a lot of talking today. Woohoo! Okay.
Did I reset my timer? Yes, I did. Did I? Yes, I did. Okay. Now, strategy time. Thanks to you, Biggs and Wedge are with us again. Now, we must find a way to rescue Amphilia and the others. Gods know we've kept them waiting too long already. Based on what we've learned, I believe it's safe to say they're being held at Castrum Sentry. Yes. So let us convene at Revenant's Toll in Mordorna. It's as good a place as any to prepare, and better than most. The road leading east then south will get you there. When we arrive, let us seek the advice of the local adventurers. We're bound to learn a thing or two that will benefit our mission. Okay then. Well, some comics will be non-canon editions. Also, holy moly, the text in this game is small. I wouldn't know what they were saying if you didn't read it. Yeah, it's quite small. I've yet to figure out how to make it bigger. I think it's possible, probably. Probably, but then it'll also make all of the other UI elements bigger as well, and I don't necessarily want that because I do not know when I will be overwhelmed by just UI everywhere. But half the point of this is voice acting practice, so it's more that the text is there mostly as backup for you guys to hear what's going on, or to be able to read what's going on. But hold up. Let me just see here. Can I? Is it gonna be? Let's see. Ooh, that's... Oh, that looks chunky. That looks really, really chunky. No. Don't worry about it, it's fine. Yeah, no, I'm just checking now because it's been bugging me too. Other settings? Let's see. Okay, that might be a better. 110 is a good compromise. It's not too big yet. Okay, that'll work. Now, let's get out of here. Revenant's Toll is which direction did he say? That way. Yeah, I feel like that's a decent enough compromise. So that's the cave with another duty that we haven't unlocked yet. And Mordorna. Let's go. Do you often play this solo? It's the MMO one, right? Yes, this is an MMO. To date, I have 95% played this game solo. There have been brief spurts in the past where I have temporarily partied up with another streamer. But literally my entire time playing this over the last decade has been solo. I pretty much, yeah, I have not been very good at the multiplayer part of MMOing. It's probably one of the reasons why it's gonna be a long time before I ever get around to doing in-game content, is because I've got to actually have people that I actually play with. At some point. At the moment, though, that is not really a point of discussion with anyone. And so yeah. Maybe one day, but not in the foreseeable future. There's time zones and availability and all of that other madness. General content creator bump. But, okay. We have another Ogadon to speak with. Slathborn. Let's see what you've got to say. Cutscene! Wait. Well met, friend. What brings you to Revenant's Toll? Did I hear you rightly? Your friends are being held captive at Castrum Sentry, and you want to rescue them? I don't mean to discourage you, but that might prove difficult. Why is the sky turning red? Why is the sky turning red? Hey? The stronghold has been on high alert of late, with armored patrols seeing out about the perimeter around the clock. Not even a fly could get within 100 yards of the walls undetected. If the Garleans were alerted to our coming, we cannot know what they will do to Minfilia and the others. We must act with the greatest stealth. Aye, it has to be good old-fashioned infiltration.
But with security so tight, how are we going to smuggle ourselves in?
Why, I have a mind to walk through the front door.
Huh? The front door?
Aye. We'll disguise ourselves as Imperial troops and march right in. For this, we'll need a few sets of Imperial uniforms, a suit of Magitech armor, and impeccable timing. Ha! That's a bold strategy, but it just might work. Where we are, there's certainly no shortage of opportunities to borrow equipment. Knowing those Imperial bastards, they won't even suspect that we savage Eorzeans would think to use their technology. Then it's settled! If you're determined to go ahead with this, I'd recommend you speak with Glomon. Glaumont? The fellow's got a personal grudge against the Empire and happens to know a deal about Castrum Sentry besides. I've no doubt that he'd want to be of aid.
Ida and I shall go to reconnoiter Garlean activity at the stronghold. It would not do if something were to befall our comrades before we had a chance to act. Come and join us when you're ready, Raptor. Let's do this.
Sometimes I wonder, Ida, are there ever times when you're not enthused?
I'm nothing if not enthused, Yashtala, and you're beginning to remind me of Papalamo.
Oh my. Did I accidentally hit a topic I shouldn't have? Sorry if so. I was just going to talk about MMOs. No, it's fine, it's fine. I've just been, I'm just not really, got a good history of online socialization, really. I have kind of been on the lurking side of socials for like ever, so reaching out to people is tough. Shy people problems. I'm not really ashamed of it or hurt by it. It's just acknowledging that it's just one of those things that I could be better at it. I just haven't been good at it. I sound like I've got a brave face on when I'm streaming, but like most of the time when it comes to actually reaching out to ask a person, hey, can we do this thing? It's like anxiety. I've just always been a much more multiplayer-oriented gamer, though not often with a party myself. I've enjoyed MMOs, but ironically I will get more sucked into grinding in the gameplay than story. Ah, I see. Yeah. As you guys know, I have said this often, I'm not actually an active gaming person. Like, I have, to date, I have yet to finish a game. Like, I have yet to complete a game. Of anything. So for me, gaming is more of one of those things that one does every now and again when you need to just do something different with your brain. But it's I wouldn't call it something that I would immediately jump into as a social activity. Under normal circumstances. It's not what my brain says, I feel like socializing people, let's play a game. It just, I don't know. When I feel like socializing, then I usually ask, hey, can we plan a thing? And then end up not being able to actually plan the thing because life ends up happening on the date that we've planned to do the thing. So, Why? Because I can't organize a party if you lock me in a brewery. I've never been a social gamer either. I play multiplayer most of the time, but against and with randoms without any kind of pumps. Yeah. You see, in my case on the randoms front, while I have played with randoms before, and I haven't really had quote-unquote negative experiences with, you know, people being mean to me yet. I haven't yet had that experience. I am absolutely terrified of wasting other people's time by me being sucky at the game. Like, I know that I am a button mashing player and probably terrible. And I do not want to party up with people who, even on a random duty relate, for example, I don't want to go in with a bunch of randoms and then waste the other people's time because I suck. So, unless there is ever a situation where a bunch of us who are equally confident that we are all terrible at actually playing the game, happen to be in the same time zone, happen to vibe with each other, and happen to say, okay, we're all at approximately the same levels, let's party up and do the thing, and be okay with the rest of us sucking and not being judgmental about it, and see how far we get and make a series out of it, of some description. I don't see my solo MMO playing changing in a hurry. If anyone is so uptight that they'll get genuinely upset, who cares? And if you're playing with friends, then unless everybody agrees to be sweet, the point is playing in the fun, right? Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's just a lot of my friends don't actually play, or we're in such vastly different time zones, and circumstances and schedules and stuff that we don't play at the same time when we do have this common interest, or at such vast level gaps. So it's like, yeah, it's just been tricky. I also haven't exactly got the biggest social circle, so anyway. Let us see what Glaumont has to say about beating the Imperials where it hurts, shall we? Looking for Glaumont, are you? Well, you found him, whoever you are. Eh? You're looking to get inside Castrum Sentry, and you need my help? Something tells me we're gonna get along just fine. So you have friends at Castrum Sentry, what want for rescue? That Slaffborn knows me too well. Hi, you can count on my help. I've got a score to settle with the Imperials, and I never pass on an opportunity to get back at them. But enough about me. Let's talk strategy. Rescuing folk from captivity is right delicate business. A single oversight, just one little blunder, and it's all over. You can't leave any room for uncertainty. For starters, you need to confirm beyond the shadow of a doubt that your friends are where you think they are. You don't want to risk your neck only to discover they've been moved elsewhere. But how can you find out, you ask? By following these instructions. You approach Sentry from the east, and you'll see a swampland to your left called a tangle. Get in there, never mind all the marbles, and navigate your way to the southwestern corner. You'll come upon some drainage pipes coming down from the stronghold. Don't ask me how I know, but one of them leads back up to the command tower. If you listen closely, might as be you can eavesdrop on some of the happenings within. Once we know for certain your friends are there, we'll move on to the next stage of the operation. Now, get going, and Godspeed. Okay. I don't play as many MMOs, especially now. The level gap certainly is a thing. I used to have a character in one that I would only play when I played with my brother, since we played a game a lot more. Yeah. Yeah, the level gaps are a big thing. This is one of those... An MMO is one of those things that you commit to. And it's something that you need to be able to be 100% certain that you are going to be able to commit to it. In order for you and whoever you're playing with on the regular to have similar levels of progression and not end up in that state of level gap or story progression difference and all of that madness. So in that case, a situation where you've got a group of people who decide, okay, we're all going to make a new character at the same time, and for a specific duration of time, we're going to schedule playtime for a specific number of hours in a week, and we're going to commit to being there as if it were a business appointment on the regular. And if you can't actively get that kind of scheduled time commitment, it gets really, really difficult to actually solidly have that play group that you can kind of grow alongside. Like, I think if everyone had to do that, it would be a great way to get to know people better than if you had a person who you were maybe already on good terms with, but your interests diverge. But if you know, okay, we're doing this play group, we're committing to the play group, almost like almost like the role play servers and things that pop up in a whole bunch of different games out there. Fixed objective, fixed time frame. What you do in there will have some variations, but still a shared goal at the end of the day, right? For a specific amount of time, and then thereafter, you can opt to extend the leveling madness or move on with your lives, blah. But there basically needs to be an agreement to have that fixed amount of time. Otherwise, it's just gonna fall apart. And personally, I ain't got it in me to do that organizing. I've not. I can do a great many things, but that is one thing that I will not attempt. Oh boy. Thank you, bugs. Almost there, right? Surely. Got the bugs down. Awesome. Okay, now, let's give that another try. The faint sound of conversation echoes down the pipe. What of the captive? Does she still refuse to speak? She may as well be a deaf mute for all the information we've got out of her. The others aren't much better. The Ellison gets on my nerves most of all. Every time he opens his mouth, it's only to spout gibberish. I do wonder, why is the Tribunus so obsessed with this Menthilia woman? They say she possesses some mystical power, something we Garleans don't have. Mystical power? Like the kind beastmen use? How am I supposed to bloody know? If you're so curious, why don't you ask the Tribunus yourself? Well, as well to try to tumble to her. I like my head where it is, thank you very much. Our break is over. Best we get back to our stations. The footfalls grow fainter until all is silent. Dun dun dun. Okay, that is confirmation that our people are there. Now, back out this way, I believe. The air around here looks like an ink spill, or not an ink spill, oil spill. It's kinda trippy. It's just oil spill in the air. All of this ether. It's a cool mount, okay. Just fire dragon. Just kind of really epic, okay. Okay. Alphino, what have you got to say? "'Tis good to see you again, Raptor. I'm given to understand you have conducted some reconnaissance. Tell me, what were you able to learn?" "So, Minfilia and the others are indeed at Castrum Sentry. Their presence thus confirmed, we may proceed with the mission. While you were afield, Sid took the liberty of devising a plan of action. Pray have the details from him." "Good work, Raptor. As Alphanode has already told you, we've plotted out a course for the rescue. The gist of it is unchanged. We disguise ourselves as Imperial soldiers and infiltrate the stronghold. Glaumont is looking into ways to procure a suit of Magitech armor. In the meantime, I need your assistance for some preparation of my own. Minfilia and the others are counting on us, Raptor. Let's not keep them waiting any longer than necessary." While Glaumont goes about devising his plan, we need to see to some preparation of our own. It wouldn't do if the Imperials were to discover that they're short in armor. To prevent this from happening, I'm going to put together a makeshift communications jamming device. The explanation is like to get a bit technical, so bear with me. Imperial forces communicate at a distance via electromagnetic waves. Simply put, voices are born upon etheric lightning energy that permeates the air. Now, the hill-sized cluster of corrupted crystals to the west has been observed to amplify the self-same energy. By making use of this property, we should be able to drown out Imperial voices. To ensure that we have enough amplification, we must identify the most potent crystals among the cluster. For this, I need you to go there and use this device to take readings. I'll mark the likely places on your map. Oh, and just so you know, plasmoids are drawn to lightning energy. Don't be surprised if you run into a few. Okay. Why have you got one of these on as well? Clean the wax out of your ears now, because there's something I want you to do by way of preparation. The plan's to have you enter Castrum Sentry all decked out in Imperial duds. But a disguise is more than just the clothes you're wearing. You also got to act the part. At the very least, you need to know how to perform a convincing Imperial salute. First impressions are everything, as they say. I could teach you the salute myself, of course, but it's best you learned it from the experts. So get yourself near as you dare to the Castrum Sentry and watch the Imperials do what they do. Okay. 2 tosses in the same direction obtained. Let's make haste, shall we? I feel like I forgot to reset my timer. I did forget to reset my timer. Yay! I'm completely foolish. Okay, what's the time even? Oh, wow. Okay. So,
This is gonna be our last hydrate, and then I need to switch off for the evening. Everyone, acquire your nearest safer consumption beverages, and let's take a sip, shall we? Well, it's gonna be the last timer, and then I need to stop playing the game for a bit. And whoa, okay, right. There are multiple locations. I thought that suddenly my map had exploded. Yeah. Let me just dismount. Eat a thing. Use one of those. Use that thing. And beat up the plasmoid. Okay, that's one. Okay, beat up the frog. There we go. And another frog to beat up. There we go. And more plasmoids. Almost there, come on. Okay. Now, where's the route upwards? There, I believe. Yes. Oh dear, it looks like someone has clipped into there. You alright there, buddy? You alright in there? Now, where's the last one? I've definitely missed something.
might it be? That side. Why? I forgot to look at my mini-map. There we go. Last one. Too far away. Alright. Now we go and sneak up on the castrum. There we see the fortress. That's some insane searchlights. Oh boy, okay. Okay, that should be sufficient to get out of the way. Now let's let this other adventure just finish. Okay. My turn. Come on, where are you guys? Why can I not reach you? There we go. Alright, now let's see. We are observing, we wait, we watch. Let's see if we can pick up the greeting. Nothing to report, sir. We have received an anonymous warning that insurgent forces are near. We must redouble our vigilance. I shall recommend that patrols be increased. That was pretty easy to mimic. Alright. Now, let's head back, shall we? Yoink. Okay. So that was a sufficiently story-heavy day for getting back into things. I would actually like to do this more frequently so that I can actually start remembering people's voices. And also start experimenting more with more kinds of voices as well. Because we're not far from the end of A Realm Reborn. And therefore it means that we are not far from a point at which we can start doing side quests and leveling up the alternative classes. So the next combat class that I've got unlocked is my Lancer, which becomes Dragoon. I've got a soft spot for that one. We shall see how that pans out. I remember being passable as an archer, but I remember falling off the bus completely as a bard. But we'll see what happens as we progress. Let's see, let's first report to Sid. You have the readings. Excellent. Here, let me see the numbers. Yes, 4 of these crystals should suit our purpose, though I pray we won't have need of their power. My thanks, Raptor. Yay, okay. So, did you manage to learn the Imperial Salute? No. Best you don't demonstrate. I'm liable to fly into a rage and crack skulls. I'll just take your word for it. That's... good to know, good to know. I am immediately gonna open that up. Go over to... here, and put it in my hotbar, because I am going to need that relatively soon. And I'm actually going to take the Serpent Salute as well. Hehehe. You got it? Serpent Salute. There was method to my madness on that one as well. For those of you guys who were here last week Monday and got the spoiler. Hehe. There's a reason why I took the Order of the Twin Adder. Okay, something weird has just happened. I hope everything is okay. I hope stream is okay. Very, very strange. Was it a Wi-Fi blip? Yes, it was a Wi-Fi blip. We're okay. Okay. Let's see. So, we did manage to get through quite a bit of story. I will come back to these quests in a bit. Why do I get the feeling I've got Defiance on? I need to not have that stance active. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go stand okay. I'm gonna go park right here. Just like that. Wait. Come on. Stop doing that. I really need to be more careful about how I use my right mouse button. Angle. Just take a screenshot for next time. Hello? Why did our target switch? I wanted to cycle through my poses first. No, I don't know how to do that from here. Okay, let's just hide all of that. Grab the G pose for the next. Thumbnail. Okay. And let us head back over here. All right. There we go. We have achieved things. We have achieved things. It was a very story-heavy day. But that was kind of what I was hoping for a little bit. We managed to get the filler arc done and through. So, yay. Next time is going to be a more combat-heavy session for sure. For sure. So, excitement. Whether we manage to get through the entire Castrum Sentry arc during one session is to be seen. I might do that on a Tuesday or a Wednesday stream rather than on a Monday or a Thursday, simply because I'll probably want to start a little bit earlier because I'm going to need more time for the next session. Because if it goes as long as I expect it to go, I want the story to be a continuous thing up until basically end of A Realm Reborn. There's going to be a couple of mini boss fights still to come. I don't know. 1, 2. Maybe there's going to be 2 sessions. Maybe there's going to be 2 sessions still before we reach the end of A Realm Reborn. Roughly. If I remember correctly, but I do not trust my memory because I've only gotten to the end of A Realm Reborn once before. So I do not exactly trust my memory 100% on that front. But yeah, fun times. The food talk over the next couple of streams is going to be really interesting because obviously I'm not going to be having any. Y'all are going to be making me hungry. But it's going to be fine. Let's see. What is happening? What is happening? Over here, let's just make sure it is in fact this week's schedule in the mix. All the way over here. Alright, so let's have a look-see. So today has been Final Fantasy XIV with our free trial completionist run. Tomorrow we're going to be working on Sishian's model a little bit. So I'm going to see if I can get the groundwork for silhouettes on a bunch of his outstanding layers done, so that we can rather spend time rendering those layers tomorrow in stream. And that'll bring us a lot, much closer to completion on that build, which is going to be exciting. And then on Thursday, gasp, I decided to retract what I said previously about not wasting time on games. Curiosity has gotten to me. We're going to be trying out Arcanite's Infield on Thursday. We're going to see how the mechanics in that work and if it's something that I should study a little bit. I admittedly found myself watching the hold up, why did my audio thing just break? There we go. Hello, welcome back. Okay, so we're going to investigate that a little bit. I did admittedly find myself watching the trailer slightly on the storefront where I was downloading it, and it is absolutely gorgeous on first view. I am incredibly curious how that's going to actually look. So we shall see. And then on Thursday we're going to be doing doodle roulettes again, so it is going to be more art streaming. On Thursday we're going to be looking at, once again, Misthaven characters on randomized wheels with moods and wild cards that you guys can submit. I have included the link to the wildcard submission form in my YouTube post this week, so if you want to still submit wildcards, you absolutely 100% can, and those will be added into the spin wheel before the time. What we are going to do though this time around is that we are going to hit the shuffle button in between spin wheels. So the characters and moods and wildcards are going to get shuffled around in between sessions this time. So we should hopefully not get the same leaning towards the same wedge of the spin wheels as we did last time. So yeah, that should hopefully be fun and interesting as well. The last batch of doodle roulettes ended up being really fun, with interesting outcomes. So I'm very curious what the next batch will bring. I'm incredibly curious what the next batch will bring. It ought to be interesting. I think so. Let's see. What else? I should probably report a little bit about my weekend. My weekend was uneventful in the best ways possible. Yes. I plowed through my commissions and I pretty much achieved my goal that I'd set last week to be able to not have the guilty cloud in my conscience to say, no, you cannot afford to acquire the plushie, so I purchased the plushie because I achieved the goals. So yes, Zerpent plushie is on its way. Thank you guys for making that possible. I really appreciate it. Zerpent plushie will be going on the shelf or on the couch. I'm not yet sure. I think it's gonna go on the couch. I want to spread the plushies around a little bit. I might end up actually moving all of the plushies to the couch, but at the moment Turtle is a book stop, so Turtle is going to stay where Turtle is at the moment. Hiya, Turtle. Hanging out there next to Bill. So, yeah, until further notice, I think I'm going to put all of the plushies on the couch. I think that's where they're going to go. I want to pick up a couple more, but all in due course, right? We shall see what other plushies we end up plushing. So yeah, I did lots of commission grinding this weekend, and it was a success. So far it seems that everyone is happy with what I delivered over the weekend, so woohoo! Yay! Victory! Woohoo! Today I had intended to actually, you know, do the long weekend thing and actually take a break. That ended up obviously not happening. So I did my schedule first thing when I woke up this morning. That took a while because I was trying to figure out what all was in the queue and what all I could do on stream before making up my mind. And then I looked again and it was midday. And then I thought, let me see if I can run this one experiment real quick with drawing methodology, and that ended up being 2 hours of pain because I was trying to come up with a subject for a picture and I was failing miserably. So that ended up being abject failure. But what did happen is that I have started jotting down a couple of lines for me to start memorizing, because I'm sick and tired of being that person who has set a language learning goal and does not achieve anything and doesn't start actually using the language. So I have been in the false starter beginner phase of learning Japanese for more years than what I can tolerate. I am sick of it. I hate it. I want to actually start improving and using the language now. So on our American Time Slice streams, I may also start using some Japanese greetings as well, and echoing things that I say in Japanese as a way to start implementing the language, because I am sick of not actually producing it, which is an important part of internalizing it and getting good at it. Like if you don't practice it, if you don't use it, you're never going to keep it in your brain. And my memory sucks. Memorization, it has not been my friend. Like straight textbook memorization. I never did well with that. Ever. So, actual functional use is the only way for things to actually stick in my brain. And therefore, I actually need to actively start using it. So, it's a little decision I've come to myself today. So I started doing that. So I got a lot of, I did a lot of constructing, making sure that I was getting it sensible and right and appropriate. I hope I will run it by someone. Hopefully I know someone. Do I know someone? I technically know someone, but I have not spoken to him in a while, and therefore it is probably going to be weird if I ask him, hey, can I ask you to just quickly check if I said this right? Because he doesn't actually know that I'm VTubing. Okay, so maybe that won't work. Do I know someone who speaks fluent enough Japanese to be able to check if I've got my sentence construction right is right? I don't know. I'm sure someone will correct me if it is terribly, terribly strange. But I have checked it to the best of my ability, and I think that it's appropriate. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 lines that I need to memorize first. It's gonna take a little bit of time, I think, because I have memory of really dumb burp, which is hilarious because you know birds generally have decent-ish memories. I generally don't. It annoys me sometimes, but yeah. And I'm going to see if I can get that mimicry to function and actually start producing language. So I'm excited for it, slightly terrified, but excited. Because I know I'm going to have the mother of all accents. Just like when I speak Afrikaans, it's going to be a crazy thing to have the accents. Actually, now that I mention it, I've got all of the accents when I'm speaking English too, so it's like, really, Harrier, you're gonna be worried about having an English accent now? You've got all of the accents already anyway. Why are you starting to worry now? Nah, I'm not worried. It's gonna sound uncharacteristically cutesy. I don't know how I feel about that. It's gonna be really uncharacteristically cute. To struggle with my sentence structure and trying to get better. But we'll see how it goes. I am hopeful that the active use and the accountability of actually using the language in stream, where people can actually see that I'm trying, will amount to anything. So that's exciting. So that happened today. What else happened today? Briefly watched a little bit of some other people's VODs. And what else happened today? Briefly fell into a abyss of cooking shorts on YouTube. Very, very, very briefly, but I pulled myself out of that black hole quite quickly. I did stumble over a person who was doing some interesting fashion things, combining modern elements with plate armor, which was pretty cool. I want to check out his channel a bit more because, yeah, you know, it's nice inspiration and styling options. So I will investigate that channel more. It seemed interesting. But yeah, besides that, that has been my day. That has been my day in a nutshell. So weird, but in the sense that I don't know how to switch off kind of weird. Like, I thought I was gonna do a little bit of Misthaven writing, maybe. I did in the wee hours of the morning, as in last night, later than I was supposed to be awake. I did actually make a tiny bit of progress writing my villain. I did make a little bit of progress writing my villain. Villain exists. Villain has motivation. Villain has now also got a method of action. So I know who the villain is, I know what personality this person has, and I know what actions they're taking in order to achieve their goal, which is great. Now I need to apply personal stakes to all of the characters involved. And that is gonna be the interesting connection points. So, yes, we are slowly but certainly making progress on that. Making sure that I have got proper planning. I have needed to slightly adjust my process, I suppose you could say, for my planning documents, because I have everything currently in a Google Doc, and while for the world building side of things that's fine, it's kind of falling over a little bit on the plotting side of things, because it's too linear. I want to be able to kind of see things in a more modular way and kind of get a little bit more of a big picture type of sense of things, because I'm feeling myself drilling into details too much too early, and I'm not liking that. So I am hunting for a solution now that will give me what I need on that front. I do not know what that kind of solution will look like. because I need to basically have the main plot tree, the villain's plot tree, and then get everyone else to fit around it. So it's an interesting exercise. I literally wish I had a pegboard as big as I am tall that I could slap against the wall next to me and then just pincushion it with little notes so that I could actually see things and rearrange things. But I'm still looking for the next best thing. Like I need to maybe dive into WriterTube a little bit more and see what planning tools people are using and how they will look, and see if I can find one that looks like it will work for me. Because I don't need something that is a world building tool. I need something that is a plot point plotting thing to help me see, okay, this plot point happens here, this plot point happens here, this plot point happens here, move the cards around type blah, on a timeline type madness. And basically I need to be able to have strings for all of my timelines. Maybe I should see if there is something that is visual and effective for specifically planning visual novels games. Maybe something like that exists. I will have a hunt. I will go hunting. Maybe that's what I should do. Yeah. The writing side. Because I want to do something that is very story driven, I want to have my story set and fixed and solid before I dive too heavily into mechanics and things, because those are more malleable depending on my skill level as a developer, which is presently 0. But if I can have the story, which is the main point of the thing, strong, then I feel like the rest of the development can then act as support for that strong story. And I just want to make sure that as I'm doing my planning for that foundational minimal product, that it is good. Like, I feel like as a beginner dev, you can get away with making a couple of games that are meh, they're okay, on a mechanic base. A visual novel can get away with being a visual novel without gamified elements if push comes to shove, right? But a visual novel that's got a sucky story or an incomplete feeling story is not going to sit well with anyone, least of all me. So I really want to make sure that I get that much right. I really, really want to make sure I get that much right. So that is where I am actually putting my focused effort at the moment when it comes to Project Misthaven. And it's a bit of a long process, obviously. Obviously, I've been speaking about this since I said, hey, listen, Project Misthaven is a thing. It has already been some time, obviously. My current word count on the entire project, let me check what that actually is. Tools, word count. Let's see, this is going to be per tab in the document. Per tab in the document I've got, and this is not including my actual game dev manual. This is just the bare minimum stuff that I need to figure out plot. That is plus 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 plus. Okay. Whoa, okay. That's a lot of words. That's a lot of words. Okay. So this is before dialogue. This is before dialogue on the word count. On my visual novel planning document, before dialogue. This is 1,392,097 words in my planning document. Oh. And I haven't got dialogue in here yet. Okay. And most of that is concentrated between the info dump, which is basically just the bare minimum world building information I need to be able to quickly reference back to. Lark's POV, my POV, and Ebony's POV. Okay, Tarn's POV's got a little bit more, but that's got legacy stuff from first 0.0 draft. Blimey. Okay. So yeah, I've got a lot of words. I've got a lot of words, but there's still a lot more to come. A lot more to come. So it's gonna be an interesting thing. If I take away the info dump, and the antagonist line, which is actually pretty short, I am left with 1,380,005 words presently in my planning document. So I have written a lot. I have written a lot, but I haven't written enough. So if I go that amount, divide by 9, because there's going to be 9 POVs, that puts us presently at an average of 153,000 words-ish. $333.8. 153,333.8 words per character, which does not sound right. Did I hit a weird button someplace? That does not sound right. Hold up. Let's try this again. Lock 6844 plus Harrier 7360 plus Lamille 1671 plus Ebony 2258 plus Aspen 1259 plus 4716 plus Kai 1790 plus Kareth 1354 plus Brock 1067 that puts us at a much more reasonable number. Unless I hit stupid buttons. I think it's entirely likely that I hit stupid buttons on my calculator. This is why you don't trust me with arithmetic. Guys, this is why you do not trust me with arithmetic. Okay, I'm not going to try and calculate that again. It's a waste of time. For you guys and for me both. But yes, I've written a lot. It still feels very, very, very little though, because it's still in the pre-dialogue. This happens and then this happens, and because this happens, that happens type explanations of the plot, not so much actual prose or anything descriptive in that sense. For a lot of the POVs, what words do exist are duplicates of things that happen in the slightly more written out POVs. So things like what happens in certain patrols. That is currently a bit more duplicated word count. But beyond that, it is pretty much still very much in early days. So we are slowly getting to the point where plot is actually, there and existing. So yes, that is the status update on Project Misthaven for now. So yeah, tomorrow I'm just gonna quickly set up a thumbnail for each of the rest of the streams for the week and publish those waiting rooms. And then, unless I do that tonight. No, I will do that tomorrow. Why? Because it's already tomorrow in my time zone. Gasp. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to do that, and then I'm going to start working on silhouettes for parts so that we can render things in tomorrow's stream for session. Waha! Chaos. Every single place we go. Okay. Oh wait, no. I am in fact allowed to be awake until 2. I am in fact allowed to be awake until 2 a.m. Wahaha. Okay. But either which way, I should probably start wrapping things up. So yes, I shall see you guys soon. Depending on how the rest of the House Chaos goes, I may or may not sit in the Discord VC while we work on Sashian's art layers. I won't hold my breath for it because I don't know what interruptions the day will bring. Considering that there is not going to be a lunch thing happening at any point in time, I might have a slot between 8 and 10 UTC. I might have a slot between 8 and 10 UTC, then it's nap time, then it's wake up time and normal stuff. I shouldn't have too much domestic work early after nap time ahead of tomorrow's stream, because we're not eating things, so I don't need to cook supper, which is weird. Because usually I wake up and then I start preparing food for the household on a Tuesday. So that's gonna be interesting. We shall see how the day pans out on that front. It's gonna be interesting. So yeah, probably I'll be able to wake up, poke around with a couple of domestics, make a cup of tea. It'll have to be tea. And then jump into BC and work on preparing outlays. Whether I will actually be talking or not is a whole nother question. Probably not. I shall be preserving my voice in all likelihood. Or maybe I will super secretly, while my microphone is muted, I shall be practicing singing. Who knows? Who knows? I certainly don't. So we shall burn that bridge when we get to it. Hee hee. But in any case, thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys rest well. And I shall then see you all tomorrow for working on Sishian's model. Alright everyone, thank you for joining us, and have a good evening, and cheery bye.